Hey everybody, what's going on? So I got a couple questions about how I make my protein coffee. What I'm going to do right now is pretty much just show you guys how I do it. It's pretty simple. It's not as detailed as I'm thinking many of you may think it is, but I'm going to show you guys my coffee machine real quick, and then I'll show you guys every little thing that I use to make the protein coffee. So this here is my coffee machine. It is a BODUM Bodum. I believe it's a foreign brand. This thing is amazing. It actually, so the difference between this coffee machine and a standard coffee machine is essentially that the machine itself has a showering head. I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, this machine here probably makes one of the best cups of coffee that I have ever had in my life. And I have had a lot of coffee. So let's go ahead and get this thing started here. I'm going to set my camera up. Alright guys, so the main reason why you're not able to mix your protein powder with your coffee is essentially just that the coffee's too hot and actually starts to cook the protein molecules that are in the protein. So how can we find a way around that? Well, and if you're one of those people who likes to drink piping hot coffee, then you may not be able to do this unless you use a RTD. Right there, a ready-to-drink protein drink. Personally, I buy the Premier Proteins from Sam's Club. I get 12 of them for about $16. This is a very good deal. For those of you who have a hard time hitting your protein goals, this protein right here, it tastes amazing, and they make a bunch of different flavors. They make vanilla, chocolate, this is caramel, strawberry, banana. They make a ton of different flavors, so you can pretty much flavor it however you want, get whatever flavor you like. But yeah, we go through these probably 2 packages of these a week. They have the macros on them are 3, 5, and 30 grams of protein in this right here. So if you wanted to make a protein coffee, step 1, and this is very easy. I mean, this is about as simple as it gets. Now, for me, I'm not one to use a crap ton of like stevia or whatever, but you could always have that if you want to. So I got my coffee here, okay? Now all I'm doing is I'm taking this protein here, and I'm just blending them straight like that. And to be quite honest with you, that's how I usually do it. Very simple, but again, if you have the RTD, it's very simple. If you don't, I'm going to go ahead and cover the next way that I do it now. Alright y'all, we're back. So I'm going to talk about real quick a few common mistakes that I think people are making with this. And again, simplicity is what we want here, okay? We don't want to be blowing shit up in the kitchen. And I'm going to give you guys a very good example of that. So when I first tried to do this, I think it was 2012, I realized very quickly that you could not shake hot coffee with protein. And pretty much what I did was I took, some protein, I put it in a shaker, put my coffee in it, put the topper on there, and I just went to town on shaking this sucker. I was shaking it. Next thing I'll know it, boom! And I had a protein coffee kitchen. I mean, the thing, it exploded everywhere. And then I remember that day I called my wife and I was like, look, do not try to shake protein. I had a little success with mixing it, stirring it like this. However, the coffee was too hot. And it actually started to cook the proteins in the supplement. So therefore you started to get like these clumps, and you definitely don't want any clumps in your coffee. So that's why I recommend the RTD ready to drink protein shake, mixing it over anything else, because I've been there, I've tried to do a lot of different things, and I found that is by far the easiest and most convenient for myself and my family to do. So the other way to do it is to take yourself some of your favorite milk. Myself, I personally use the vanilla almond milk. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Alright, it's brand new, fresh out of the store. And you're just going to mix a little bit of that up. Maybe like, you know, a couple ounces of that. Then you're going to take yourself however much protein you need. Personally, because this is just a demonstration, we're just going to use like a half a scoop. A whole scoop will work exactly the same. You just want to put the topper on there. So pretty much all you're doing is you are making an RTD. That's all you're doing with this. And then of course, you know, if you want stevia or you want some kind of sweetener, by all means, feel free to use that. I'm not a real big sweets kind of guy, so I actually don't use any extra sweetener or stevia when I make protein coffee. But pretty much all you're going to do, again, is just take your coffee, take your proteins, and start to have yourself a little protein party. And in this way, doing it like this, it may not be as hot as, you know, a piping hot pot of coffee. However, if you need it hotter, just use more coffee or use less, less cold fluid. But again, if you go too hot, it's just going to end up cooking the proteins and you're not going to get what you sought out after. Now, another thing that you can do with this, I don't know how many of you are big fans of cold coffee or cold brews. You could add ice to this and just make it a cold coffee. Those are very, very good. Or you can keep it hot. And for those of you who do drink coffee in the morning, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting yourself one of these cups. This is an Arctic cup, RTIC. I believe this is the 32 ounce. This thing will keep your coffee hot. I mean hot for 4 to 5 hours straight. So for those of you who may pour yourself a cup of coffee in the morning and you know it's cold after maybe 15 minutes, I pour my coffee in here and I can't even drink the thing for like 15 minutes, all right? It stays that hot. So I hope that this little tutorial here helped on how I make protein coffee. And for those of you who do make protein coffee, you know, again, I think it's a great way just to, you know, start your day off and kind of kill two birds with one stone. Instead of always having to worry, well, how am I going to get protein and maybe stressing out that you have to cook something, you know, grabbing an RTD protein shake. Let me show you guys the box real quick. So I actually don't have the box, but here's two of my favorite flavors. One's caramel, one is vanilla, and that's how they look. And those are the ones I buy. And again, the macros are 3 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of protein per shake. Thank you guys very much for watching my coffee tutorial. If you like it and it works for you, please feel free to leave me a comment, send me an email, whatever you'd like. Have a great day, guys.